Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Michelin King. We're live in the office today. Excuse the hat, it is -4, so it's very cold. We've got the heating on, but never mind, onwards and upwards. So, picked out a few orders, just stuff that we've not covered recently. So, first up, we've got Brian, all the way from Essex, so thanks very much, Brian. Nice local order. First up, we've got Quick Detailer within this. So, Quick Detailer is one of the most reviewed products that we have on our website. Absolutely fantastic, easy to use. It's a must-have product for me because I use it not only for wax application and removal, I use it to take off fingerprints, I use it just to bring the car back to life. I even use it as a drying aid as well, so lots of different uses for Quick Detailer, and it will leave some protection as well. So the ingredients in Quick Detailer will actually give you some beading, let alone probably the comment that we get the most is the shine. So a lot of people are really taken aback by the level of shine that Quick Detailer can give you, especially because it's so easy to use. So Brian also went for Pure. Now Pure again is between the two, so Quick Detailer and Pure are our two top sellers, our best sellers. They've also got the most reviews as well, so lots and lots of reviews. You can check that out. Go to michelinking.co.uk or .com and just look at Quick Detail and Pure, and you can see all the pictures of people that have used them. The thing that probably amazes people the most, and it does to me every time I use Pure, is the amount of dirt and grime, even after a decon wash, that Pure will remove. So Pure deep cleans. Very simply, what I say to a customer is Pure will deep clean where everything else couldn't. So your iron fallout is for ferrous material. You've got your clay bar for above surface contaminants. One of the things I would say about the clay bar and clay gloves is typically they're not flexible enough to get into these tiny channels and ravines. And what I mean by that is as your car's driving along on the motorway, the highway, grit and whatever goes over the top of the bonnet, the hood, and it actually imparts tiny scratches or ravines, channels, rivers into the clear coat, especially if it is stone material or gravel. What Pure will do is it will actually get into that area, break down the grime that's accumulated over the years or even weeks sometimes, and it'll get rid of that. It'll flush it out. Even things like TFRs will not be able to do that because it's a multitude. Pure's made up of a multitude of different ingredients that have different functions. That's probably the best way of describing it. Used with a dual action, it's even better than hand application. You can use it with a dual action, and the shine that you will get simply because you've got microscopic abrasives in there, so very small abrasives, and they're micro polishing the surface, or what we call jewelling. So it's jewelling the surface as well. So really good, fantastic, especially if you've got softer paint. So if you've got softer paint, Pure is a must-have because sometimes you don't even need your typical traditional polishes to machine polish softer paint. You can actually use you could actually use Pure quite easily, and it will bring the finish up. Especially if you're concerned about using more abrasive polishes, Pure is a perfect place to start. It's very forgiving. The rewards are exceptionally good, and it's very easy to use. So we are running low on Pure, but there is more coming in. So we've got quite a few 500s. So nip on, get yourself a bottle and try it for the weekend. We'll be able to get the order. If it comes in within the next hour, we'll be able to get it out with Royal Mail today. So that'll go out to Brian. He's went for 48-hour delivery, so it'll be with him in the next couple of days. Next up, we have Erling, all the way from the Netherlands. As you know, probably watching these videos by now, guys, we ship worldwide. So we use UPS, FedEx, DHL, all the good ones, just to make sure fully tracked, fully insured as well. Obviously, all couriers, let's be honest, they all have their off days, but we tend to find the track record. We've been doing this now for close to 2 decades. We tend to find these are the three sort of main guys that do that are good at what they do. So let's get Erling. So he's all, sorry, not the Netherlands, Norway. Sorry about that. So first up, he's went for Cloak. So Cloak's a brilliant product for this time of the year, simply because I'm just going to get a half litre. As in here. There we go. Sorry. It's in a box at the back. So Cloak is coming to end of line as well. So it's just what we've got in stock for Cloak. So there's not much. I think there might be about 10 bottles of each size left in stock now. It's a nice product. It's a glaze. It's the main reason that we are putting it to end of line is it simply complicates the steps. So for a lot of new customers, they can find it difficult to get their head around these sort of multi-steps. We can obviously still get the product. So if you really like it, we'll still be able to get it. So if it's something that you want in the future, it's just it won't be on the main website. And as many of you know, we do have quite a range of products that are off website that are special requests that you can. Things like Cloak, Diamond Seal obviously being one, Glace being another one. So there are a few products that will be removed from the website, but again, you can still buy them. It just simplifies the range slightly. This is my favourite shampoo by far. Probably like most people, you've tried. It's not unusual to try 20 to 30 different shampoos. Chera, I always come back to this one simply because I like the consistency of it. I like the fact that it's concentrated, but to a point that, so to concentrate a shampoo, you're essentially putting a thickener in there. And the difficulty is the thickest shampoo isn't always the best, because the most important thing about shampoo is the cleaning ability, and also the ability to protect the surface underneath. I like the fact that you've got, it's kind of belts and braces, this one. So you've got some Carnauba emulsion in there as well. You can probably see that. That's a sort of white consistency there. So you've got the Carnauba emulsion in there. You've got a good dilution ratio. You've got a good amount of detergent, because Carnauba wax is detergent resistant, but it doesn't really like alkaline based products. That goes for all Carnauba waxes. Now, this is probably quite an important part. All of the shampoos that we offer, aside from Strip, are all pH 7. So they are neutral. 8 or 6 is not neutral. It's not a neutral. That's either going acidic or alkaline. It has to be pH 7. There's no ifs, buts, or maybes. So very important there, guys. Stick to the 7s unless you want to strip stuff off unless you want to strip your protection. That's the most important thing here. Don't put a really nice wax on and then use a strip shampoo or a decon shampoo unless you want to start removing and breaking down that wax. And the difficulty you've got, and it would be great if we could invent these, is a pair of glasses that you could put on and see, because the wax, any coating doesn't wear, it doesn't deteriorate or degrade evenly. That's an important thing here. It might on, and this is why I'm not keen on factory testing, simply because it gets put on a sheet of metal, it sits on a table, and it's man-made testing. A car, there's barely a flat piece of metal on a car now. Very much it's the case that they're shaped, they're angled, etc. So again, the coatings, the waxes, the sealants, they are deteriorating at a different rate. So if you're using a strip or essentially lots of pre-wash, so if you're pre-washing your car every week, what you will see, this is the clue, so, and it's very straightforward and lots of you will already know this, but once you've rinsed the car, you'll see where the water is clinging on. So if you've got a hydrophilic coating, this is difficult to tell. If you've got a hydrophobic coating like car waxes, sealants, that type of thing, and the water is pooling in a certain area, then it's time to get more protection on there. So and there's a couple of ways that you can do that. If you don't have the time, we've got a product called Wax Plus, which is just as easy to use as a quick detailer. You spray it on, buff it off, and it's an SiO2 based product, but it's a high SiO2 content, and that will give you plenty of protection up to about 6 months. So we're up in Scotland. Our product testing gets done in Scotland. At the moment, it's -4. It's an island, obviously, the UK, or the UK is made up of islands. Great Britain traditionally is Scotland, England, and Wales. The United Kingdom includes Northern Ireland. So it's all very political. To us, we're all the same, but I wish that was the case anyway. So our climate, for instance, is much more similar to Scandinavia or the north than it is even you can experience in summer as much a difference as 10 degrees from, say, London, somewhere like that. So Scotland's a great place to actually test the products. The weather we get here is harsh, and where the products are now tested, it's the last point. I think it's the last part of land before the planes land. So they're very, very low, and it's an industrial area. So it's a great test point. You'd be hard pushed to replicate that type of environment in a factory because, well, there you go. And we have one of the biggest planes in the sky actually lands on a daily basis here as well. So you can do your best to do that in a factory, but you really need to do as many engineers, builders, people that work in trades. You all know the same thing, guys. You can look at the specifications of a drill and you think, oh, this looks fantastic. You take it onto site, you start to use it, and suddenly the specifications on the sheet don't quite match up to the tool that you've got in your hand. So that's why the double testing goes on. Yes, we're still doing, we've got all the correct testing, the lab testing, so to speak, but I feel personally the real stuff is the site testing. I studied engineering for a long time. As many of you know, it was mechanical engineering, and often even the computer can't always replicate what we can. So that's what I would say is just you're in good hands with us because we are multi-testing the products. Most people do, but it's worth mentioning that the location because this is extreme weather. So anyway, Trossachs 200ml, which is here. So Trossachs is one of my favourite waxes at under £100. It's an absolutely great buy. It's a great buy just now because it's in the Black Friday sale. Comes in a green frosted jar and it's a super wet finish. There isn't anything that matches that unless you go up to lavender, and then after that you're really going up to Philip. After that you would go to Cardinal, Serpine, and finally Samaya. So there are only a few at the higher end, and wet look finish is completely different to gloss, so that's also a nice test that you can test the waxes together. Heather, just back in stock. You would have possibly caught that in the video yesterday, so again, a few Heathers went out yesterday. This is another one. Heather is a high gloss durable wax. I don't often use the term seasonal waxes, but it's easier to pigeonhole a seasonal wax. So this would be a high gloss durable wax. Because we make our own waxes, and so anything over about £100 is natural. So Trossachs is natural, so is Heather. Anything below that has a mixture of natural and petrochemical. RPM is an all-out petrochemical with a wee bit of natural spice to it. But the natural waxes are so different, and if you're into your waxes, they're so much better. The looks are so much nicer. They're so much easier to work with. They're not fussy at all. And I know, I know people will say, oh, I can make a non-fussy car wax, it's petrochemical based. And you think, yeah, it's close. It's like the Lexus LS and a Rolls Royce. They're close, but they're still miles ahead. They're still miles apart, rather. Well, Rolls Royce is miles ahead. And I don't mean that in a bad way, it's just what it is. The Lexus LS, fantastic car, absolutely phenomenal. Mercedes S-Class, the same. BMW 7 Series, but it's not in the same category as a Rolls Royce. Now, and that's the difference between them. Petrochemical wax, it's like RPM, it's a best-selling wax, it's a petrochemical based wax, but it doesn't even come close to Azure. And Azure would probably be like a Bentley, I suppose. So you've got a lot more customization in there, higher quality of material, especially the leather. A lot of especially Bentley, Rolls Royce, the leather quality is night and day as well. So again, it's just the higher up you go, the better ingredients that you get, the better wax that you get as well. If that's your thing, if you think, I'm really into my waxes, I would guarantee that if you start buying the higher end waxes, you'll really see a difference, because the emails that we get, the WhatsApps, the messages, the online chats, they all have the same, there's a pattern to it. So some people will start off with RPM, they'll maybe start off with Azure, then they'll start jumping up the scale, and you'll eventually get the email. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's a couple of months, to say, look, I can't believe the difference. So it's just whatever you feel comfortable with. Me personally, I would say if you're about to spend £30 to £50 on RPM, take that £30 or £50 and put it into a 50ml of a higher end wax, because then, and I know a lot of people, like we've got here, Erling wants the bigger jar. These are, and it's especially a wee bit different, the purple and the green. But for me personally, if I get a chance to speak to the customer before they purchase, I would always recommend to buy a smaller size but a higher up wax, simply because it's a better product. That's if it's selling for a higher price, it's because there's better ingredients in there as well. So 50ml of our new wax, which is called Uncharted, which is here. Free 100ml Passion as well. So Passion, the only way you can get this wax right now is if you spend over £99, which Erling has. Oh, there we go. It's an order from South Korea. Yeah, South Korea. And they have went for RPM version 3, which is this one here. So you always, whenever you buy from us, guys, you always get the newest one. So don't be concerned about that. It's always the newest. So what happens is I make the wax before it goes live on the website. So we'll make RPM version 3 and then we'll update the website. So you'll always get the newest one. It's not a case that there's a few of RPM version 2. We'll always sell out. There'll normally be a gap in time just to make the new one, or whatever we need to do, change the labels, etc. And then the new one will launch. So that's us for now. I just picked out a few. I know, because we've did these videos a couple of days in a row, so I don't want to bore the living daylights out of you. So I just picked out 3 from today. They'll go, and the other orders will go today as well. So most of you, depending on the postage, if you've chosen 48, it's a couple of days. If you've chosen next day, it'll be with you the next day. Erling, Norway is about 2 to 3 working days. Norway is slightly different to the rest of Europe, just simply because it's kind of similar to us, where they're not within the EU, so the customs thing, weirdly enough, can go one or two ways. Now that we are out of the financial EU, so to speak, or the organisation, it does go slightly faster. But within the EU, there was always, and this is what we're finding. Please sort it out, politicians, because we do all want to get on. We know it's just you guys pulling the strings anyway. Right, check out our Black Friday deals, guys. Hopefully you have a nice day. And visit the website. Treat yourself to something nice. Take care. Bye-bye.